Got to get you some inside scoop. Blake Bridges. It's good to actually see you in person. I get to see you on camera. I'm in a studio and talking to you. We covered you all year long in the Sport Fishing Championship. You had a pretty solid year for the first year of the SFC. Good job.
I appreciate it. It wasn't as good as what we wanted, but we always have next year.
There could only be one champion of the Gulf and the Sport Fishing Championship that was quantified. But all in, of course, you're on a different boat this week. What's it like for you? Because you're taking over a boat that somebody owns that you're not familiar with. How is it different for you here in Mexico?
No, I definitely didn't take over. I'm strictly the sonar guy. But,
Gotcha.
But that's been really nice because at home when we're fishing, I'm the guy running the sonar, driving the boat. Where we go, what we do, and these couple days that I get to fish here have been really fun because all I have to focus on is the sonar. So
all right, I
want
to hear your questions because I talked to people. I only went to 2 events. I went to Martha's Vineyard and I went to Puerto Rico. I see the sonar. I see it on the Bass Fishing World a lot. They live off the live scope. They're on there constantly. As a sonar guy, are there times when you're seeing these fish in depth that you say, I got to leave that fish alone because he's not interested? Or at what point do you say, I got to keep coming around because I'm going to get him to bite?
Well, so we actually had that conversation today. In the Gulf, normally if I see them below 200 foot, I'll make a pass on them. And if I don't see any depth, change, I'll move on. And I'm learning, especially after this year, we actually spent a little more time on some fish that were below that 200 foot, and we were actually able to raise them up. We didn't get the bite out of them this year. But
is that the boat that's bringing them up, or is it the base that's bringing them up? Are they hearing the motor? I mean, what brings them up?
You're sitting on the biggest teaser you got. They have a lateral line, so they can feel that boat.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, a couple times we've ended up behind a fish. 150, 200 foot behind a fish, and you go to try to ease around them. They really don't like that too much, so they definitely know you're there.
You mentioned lateral lines. A lot of people that may be watching don't even understand it. I mean, that's the line on the side of the fish that it's a physical thing that we see, but that's how they feel the surroundings around them. How does that play a part? Because one thing I notice is, and talking to people is, if they see a fish move up from that 200 and they're back down when they make the next pass, done. I'm not even going to mess with it. Are you looking at it a certain way? How do you look at that? If it goes back down, are you still trying to chase that fish?
I mean, in the Gulf, it's not like we're seeing, we're not seeing every time we go out, we're not seeing double digits. So we're, I will definitely spend some time on a fish. I don't have a problem doing that. And sometimes we'll, if they're a little deeper, we'll put the LP down with a fish sled and try to present that bait a little deeper.
Yeah.
Sometimes just to get that bite, but we certainly definitely spend 15 minutes or so on some fish sometimes, and we've spent hours on fish before following them. We follow them 3 or 4 miles, and that's a straight line distance, and we were zigzagging,
right.
So there's a lot more distance than just that.
All right, so another question. I want to make a move and start thinking about SFC stuff instead of necessarily the Mexico stuff here. We saw Quantified do stuff different than everybody else. When you watch back on CBS Sports Network, you saw that Quantified was catching 7 sailfish or 7 white marlin, something different. Like, why in the hell would you go for white marlin when you got the blue marlin gets you more points? But they did something different. Did you ever think back after the fact and go like, darn it, I wish I would have done this? Or do you say, you know what, I'm okay with what I did?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, my boss is a really big blue marlin fisherman. That's
Perfect.
what he wants to catch,
Yeah.
And we definitely did some dredge fishing, bait fishing, this year, especially after, Quantified came in and won a couple of the tournaments like that, and we spend the latter part of our year towards the late summer, early fall doing that, but strictly. That's how we'll strictly fish just like that, and we have a good time with it, and at the end of the day, my boss wants to grab his 80 wide and go to the chair for a big blue marlin.
Absolutely,
he's after big ones,
I get it. So to close it out, we're here at the Bisbee's Black and Blue. You're either catching a blue marlin, black marlin. No, striped marlin don't count, dorado don't count, tuna don't count. What are you doing this final day? How are you going to catch this fish? Because again, You're 345 pounds out of millions of dollars. How do you do it on this final day?
I'm gonna stay on the sonar all day long and stare holes in it. And my captain, we got a good captain down here, and he's been, we got some shots today, and tomorrow hopefully we can make them stick.
Hey, good luck. Let's
Appreciate
do
it,
it.
buddy.
Do it.